Welcome back to your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner broker and the host of the program, Your Real Estate Voice. Barb, the real estate market is moving into summer. People wonder if it's just the lower priced homes that sell fast. So here's the question. Do luxury homes take longer to sell here in Colorado along the Front Range?
Well, Richard, it's kind of teetering between a buyer's and a seller's market right now. It's right in the middle. But the thing that's surprising me, at least in my own experiences at this time, is that the more affluent properties are selling quicker. And I recently just had a bidding war on one of them, which was really surprising. Because it had been on the market for a few months, and then all of a sudden we got two at the same time. So I'll tell you that story in a second. But at the end of the day, if it's not priced properly, it could sit on the market for longer. It depends on really how the home is marketed. What we see commonly right now, I'd say the middle days on market all along the Front Range is probably about maybe 70 to 90 days. That's pretty average at this point if it's priced right. But there are still some people that are not priced right. So we're seeing a large percentage of home sellers lower the price. But what I'm finding is the more affluent buyer is a little bit less sensitive to interest rates than what we're seeing at the first time home buyer. And one of the surprising statistics that I ran into this morning was basically that we're seeing a big increase in the number of sales this year as compared to last year in the more affluent price range. And it gets bigger as the price goes up. So almost 16% more on the 700 to a million, 17% more sales, 1 million to 2 million, and 24% more sales in the 2 million plus. That was really surprising to me. I think part of the reason is there's a little bit more consumer confidence and certainty in the market that moving forward it's going to be good. I heard something from one of my coaching colleagues where he meets with people that are more involved with the economy, and they are predicting that this is the year to buy real estate and buy investments in general because we're going to see a boom like we've seen in the early 80s. Have you heard that, Richard?
I've heard something about that, but it's all rumors, and the people that have been talking to me about that just don't have the credibility, quite honestly, that you have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not an economist. I'm just out there doing sales all the time. So I kind of have my finger on the pulse on what's happening in this market. And what I'm finding is my higher end properties are actually taking less time to sell than the lower end price point. I had a listing up in Larkspur that just closed, and it was interesting. They were on the market with another agent. It didn't sell. They hired me. We went through the winter. The winter was tough because it seemed like every weekend we're getting a snowstorm. But now that it's cleared up a little bit, one of the buyers had made an offer. He was down in Texas, and the agent called, and it was a verbal offer. So we were priced at 1.25 million. And the agent said, well, my buyer wants you to ask the seller if your seller will accept $1 million because he knows the market and he's looked at all the properties around there and he knows exactly what's going on. And I'm like, first of all, I don't work verbally because it's not real. People aren't really committed if they're saying on the phone, hey, will you take this much? It just, to me, it's not as effective as actually writing an offer. It means you're serious and you're really going to do this. So it cooled off for a while. And then about a month ago, all of a sudden, that buyer showed up again with a different real estate agent and actually did a written offer. They still came in low. They came in 150,000 instead of 250,000 below asking price. And at that point, we didn't have any other offers. So the seller countered. They were actually kicking around making a small price adjustment. And we had prepared the counter, every detail. We emailed it out to the buyer's agent. That was on a Sunday in the morning, and they had all day, even the next day, to sign it. And I let the agent know, hey, there's another showing going on today. Well, nothing happened. The buyer did not sign the counter proposal, and their offer was contingent on them selling a home in Texas, of which they thought they already had a buyer. They were under contract. It fell out over inspection, but the buyer wanted back in. So they were really confident it was going to sell. So we gave them a reasonable counter. All they had to do was go online and sign it, just like DocuSign, but they didn't do it. 7 o'clock at night, I get a call from another agent going, hey, my buyer saw your house today. They love it. They've looked at lots of homes. This is the one they want to buy. Do you have any other offers? So I told her, yes, we'd countered another buyer, but they had a house to sell. And she goes, oh, great. Well, that means there's still a chance. So what I had to do to give the seller an opportunity to look at both offers was to hide that counter proposal, like basically disable it in the software so they could not sign it, which would give the seller time to review offer number two. The problem was the seller wasn't answering their phone. So I had to kind of make a command decision. They went to bed early. And I'm like, well, I'm sure they want to look at two offers, not just one. I figured if they still wanted to stick with buyer number one, I could reinitiate that counter proposal the next morning. So we go from Sunday morning, counter proposals out there. I took it down Sunday night. It wasn't until mid-morning that I get a call from the first buyer agent going, hey, it says that the counter proposal has been removed. What's going on? And I said, well, we got another offer. It turned out that the second offer, and the sellers are happy I did that because the second offer was a better offer. It had more certainty of going to closing because even though they also had a house to sell, they were under contract, they were past inspection and appraisal, just waiting for closing date. And the price was 25,000 higher than the counter proposal that we had sent out to the other buyer. So what ended up happening was buyer number two got the house. But it was like, why did buyer number one wait all that time to respond? The only question she asked me really had nothing to do with the negotiation. So I don't know unless they were just busy and they thought it was a sure thing. But you can't do that in this market. It doesn't seem to matter how long a home has been sitting on the market. If you like a home, make an offer because chances are at that time, somebody else is going to want it as well. Does that make sense, Richard?
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you're somebody who is an expert at getting people and getting a lot of people to want the same thing. And that means that you get competing bids.
Yeah. And so we're able to solve some problems that often come up for luxury home buyers. Like many luxury home buyers have a house to sell. Both of these buyers on the past story had a house to sell, but one of them was further along in the process than the other. But let's say that's the only offer that you have is somebody with a house to sell. We could take any address in the country, put it up on our cash offer website, get them multiple offers. That way they can buy your home. It solves the problem and makes your home more attractive than other homes that you're competing with. So who is a luxury buyer? What does that really mean? Essentially, price ranges are different all over the place. Like if you went to San Francisco, I don't think you can get a love shack for less than $1 million. I mean, they're very expensive properties there, but those aren't necessarily luxury homes. But here, pretty much over 700, a million, you're wading into the luxury arena. Typically, those buyers are fairly seasoned. Financially, they're typically pretty strong. And what they're looking for are elements that really work with their daily routine. And absolutely, they want something special. They want lifestyle. They want either mountain views and a great lot, or they want to be in a metro area where all the action is. So it's a different buyer, and you have to make sure you hire the agent that knows how to attract that buyer. I just sold another luxury home down actually in Custer County in Westcliff. and beautiful property. It was only a couple years old. It had gorgeous views, really a new modern home with a barn on 35 acres, close to a famous walking trail. And that home sold right away. It was amazing. So the first offer we got, the buyer asked, hey, can I reserve your house through May? This was December that he called. Wait for my house to sell. And the seller's like, I don't like that. There's a lot of risk in doing that. And within a few weeks, we got a great full price offer that let them stay after closing. I mean, all the stars aligned for that client. So really happy, but it helps a lot if you have a nice product. So at the end of the day, if you have a house to sell and you want to buy a home, there are ways to solve that problem, and we have solutions for home buyers that want to upgrade to a luxury home. And if you just do it on your own and you make an offer contingent on your home selling, there's a lot more risk to it. And it puts a lot of pressure on you to get your home under contract. And it often means that you have to make a really strong offer. So if you came in and you said, hey, I have a house to sell. Will you reserve your house for me, waiting for me to sell my home? And oh, by the way, I'm going to make a lowball offer at the same time. Those offers are very likely to be rejected. So you have less negotiating availability if you do that, but we can solve these problems. We have financing options that will help you. We have companies that will give you equity in your home without a payment. There's all kinds of great solutions. So all you need to do is give us a call at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Only company I would recommend to people out there who are thinking of selling their homes and downsizing to a smaller home. To reach Barb and her team, call 719-301-3900. Barb, time for some hot new listings. What do you have this week?
Well, Richard, I have some really cool houses. I have one that's up in Divide. It's an adorable log cabin, original log cabin that's been almost completely updated at $399, $999. A fantastic rancher with lots of bedrooms and baths and a three-car garage in the Lorson Ranch area at $529, $999. A spectacular home with gorgeous views in Meridian Ranch on Wetterhorn Peak. We just lowered the price to $599, $999. Beautiful home, almost 3,900 square feet, and it's in pristine condition. We have a really cute remodeled starter home on Willamette on the west side, priced in the low fours. We also have an amazing remodeled home in Glen Eagle on Rembrandt Court, priced at $635. Everything in this home has been redone. It's great. You have lots of privacy on the lot. It's on a cul-de-sac. Great neighbors, great place. We also have a beautiful rancher that backs to open space in Wolf Ranch on Glory Drive, priced at $599, $999. An amazing rancher in Pueblo, priced at $574, $999 on Royal Troon, and a really, really cute bi-level home on Camfield Drive in the mid-fours in Briargate. And coming very soon, we have a spectacular, gorgeous, I'm having house envy home in High Forest Ranch, priced at $2.1 million on Open Sky. I'm pretty excited to present that to the market. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. We'd love to help you, or at least, let us take a look at your home and give you a really good idea on what it will sell for in this market. Richard?
You've been listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the host of the program, the owner broker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. That'll do it for this week. Look forward to talking to you next week. Barb.
Thank you. Have a great week.